Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. Today we are doing the pepper experiment. After so many people have told me on the comment section, Guga, do not put the pepper before the steak, because if you do, the pepper will burn and it will give you a terrible bitterness flavor on your steak. You just don't do it. Pepper burns, Guga. I know, you're probably right, but I would say 90% of all the people cook with the pepper before, not after the steak. With that being said, there's only one true way to find out if this is true or if it's a myth. We gotta run this experiment. Check it out.
Pepper. It's probably one of the most common ingredients we use with our steaks. It just gives a wonderful flavor. There are several different types of varieties of peppers. We have red peppercorn, green peppercorn, white peppercorn, a mix of all of them, but the most common, the one we use at all, is black pepper. And if you want to know the kind I like the most, it's called cherry. To me, it's just the best pepper there is. And in order to run this experiment properly, the first thing we need to do is to see how long it actually takes for the pepper to burn. So I threw in a bunch of them in the pan. I set the heat on the highest setting and just let it cook. And to my surprise, it didn't happen right away. It takes quite a bit. To be specific, it took exactly 3 minutes and 15 seconds for them to start to burn. But I'll tell you one thing, it is the most disgusting smell you can ever have. Even though I took it out of the pan and cleaned it as much as I could, my whole studio still stinked. For you to really see the difference, here is what pepper looks like before being burned. And this is what it looks like burned. It is absolutely the most horrible smell you can ever have. And it doesn't go away easily. Now we know that my pan probably got anywhere between 500 degrees all the way up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit. That is pretty hot. And taking over 3 minutes to do it gives us enough time to sear a steak actually without burning the pepper. So in my theory, I think that's the key. You have to finish the sear all before it burns. And if we can achieve that, then we'll be good to go. But I do have to keep one thing in consideration. I was doing a whole peppercorn, not crushed. So I'm assuming that once it's crushed, it will probably cut the time in half. And that's what I gotta keep in mind when I'm searing my steaks. Another thing to point out is that toasted pepper tastes amazing. That's how cacio e pepe is done. When you toast those peppercorns properly, it just gives a wonderful flavor. But now that we have this valuable information, it's time to put it to use. And for today, I'm going to be using these 3 beautiful New York strip. As always, try to choose the right steak. The number one thing you should always look for is intramuscular fat, which is those little white spots that you see throughout the steak. As it cooks, it will melt and give your steak a wonderful taste. And here's how this experiment is going to work. The very first steak, I'm going to be seasoning it right now with salt, pepper, and garlic powder and putting it in the bag to cook sous vide. The second steak, I'm going to be seasoning with salt and garlic powder, then putting it in the bag and let it cook sous vide. Once it's cooked, I'll be putting a nice heavy coat of pepper, and then we're gonna sear it. The very last one I'm gonna be seasoning with salt and garlic pepper now. Then I'll be cooking it sous vide, and then after it's seared, then I'll be putting some peppercorn. That way we're gonna find out which way is the best way to use pepper in your steaks. So after seasoning them with salt, on my very first steak I threw in that freshly ground black pepper. And my goal is as follow. I will be searing the steak for 1 minute per side. And after that 1 minute, if it needs more sear, I'll just flip it back. At least that's my theory. And I'll do that until it's fully seared. I'm hoping that works, but there's only one way to find out. Remember, the other 2 steaks will be getting freshly ground black pepper after it's cooked. To make sure I don't lose track of them, I'm going to be labeling every single one. But now that we have all of our steaks ready, all there's left to do is to put them in the water bath and let them cook. I'm cooking all of them in the same container at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours.
I got my beautiful steaks cooked. As you saw it there, one already has pepper, the other 2, we still gotta work on it. With all that being said, they were cooked at 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 2.5 hours, and it's time to take them out. Let's do it. If you can only smell how wonderful this steak smells, everybody. This is the most exciting part for me because I can tell right away, as soon as I take it out of the bag, I know it's gonna be something amazing. With all that being said, I gotta pat it dry like I always do to make sure I get a wonderful sear. And to make sure I don't contaminate one and the other, I will be using a different paper towel for every single one of them to make sure that this experiment is valid. With that being said, I must explain something, and I hope I explained it before, but I will tell you this. I use 1% of the weight of the steak in pepper to make sure that every steak has the exact same amount. 1% measured in grams was add it to the first steak, and I'll be doing the same with the second and the same with the third to make sure every single one has the exact same amount of pepper, and we can really test this out to make sure it's good. With all that being said, first one, as you already know, has the pepper and it was done with sous vide. Second one, I'm gonna put the pepper right now before I get the searing starting, and the last one is gonna be after searing. And I know they don't look that good right now, but watch this. All right, everybody, here we have our beautiful steaks. We got Mama Z in the house. We got Sam in the house. You ready, Sam?
I'm ready.
Sam is always ready for some beautiful steaks. Oh, they are supposed to be real nice and tender because they're all prime steak, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna cut in half, Sam. I'm surprised.
I gotta taste it one time and then taste it again.
You want a double taste?
I'm trying to pass this quiz.
Me and Mama, we're ready here, huh, Mama?
Ready to do it.
All right, everybody, very first steaks. Cheers, everybody. That crust is so crispy.
You went heavy on the crust.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can tell that.
Crunchy crust
Yeah.
because that's one of the reasons of the experiment, yeah? So you feel all that crunchiness? By the way, I didn't mention this in the video, but every single steak, I timed it. Each one got 2 minutes per side on the crust. That's why, as you can see, they look exactly the same.
Yeah.
Better bring up my notepad and start taking notes.
There's not much to be said because it's the very first one, yeah?
Yeah.
Second steak, cheers everybody. There's something to be said about a prime steak, man. It seems like you guys are studying that flavor. Huh? Look at this one. Are you praying?
I know exactly what's going on here.
You know exactly?
This,
I apologize if you guys are hearing any crazy noise. Apparently my neighbor decided to mow the lawn right now, so I apologize for any crazy noise that is coming through the mic. Now that you tasted the second steak, talk to me, gentlemen. What's going on?
So I've meditated,
You
I
meditate.
studied, I went over my notes, and in conclusion,
What is it?
there's no difference.
Really?
Crust is about the same, the texture, the juiciness.
Absolutely the same.
They're both amazing steaks.
I have to agree with you. I have absolutely no difference in taste or anything like that. It's the exact same thing. All right, let's go for the last one, everybody, to find out if what's going on. Third one, cheers, everybody. Talk to me, gentlemen. Uh-oh.
I think me and Mama kind of have the same.
Uh-oh.
The bite that I just took, there was a lot of pepper taste in it.
Really?
Yeah.
An intense pepper taste.
Yeah. Like a lot of pepper.
I understand what you're saying because I got one right here on my throat. What do you think, Mama?
they all taste pretty much the same to me. The last one has a little bit of an aftertaste in the end that I can't.
So you like the last one better or you like it worse?
No, I like it worse.
You like it worse?
Yeah.
I feel like, what about you, Sam?
I like
Which
the
one-
last one.
Your last one is your favorite. So here's the deal. What can you tell me about the last one? It just feels like stronger for you?
Yeah.
You have something extra towards the end of the flavor that it lingers a little bit longer in your mouth.
Yeah. So most definitely, there is more pepper on this.
Yeah, I felt that too. It's like it got stuck on my throat here.
Most definitely, there's more pepper on that.
So here's the experiment, yeah?
Alright.
So first, before I ask you, did you find any odd flavor on this steak?
No.
How about the second one?
No.
So they all tasted exactly the same. The only difference, this one is stronger pepper taste.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. So this experiment is all about the pepper.
Okay.
Everybody says pepper burns, which is true. If you leave it in the pan and you just cook the pepper, that
Yeah.
thing burns, everybody, and it stinks. It stinks your whole house. So be careful with that. So this one here, I put pepper before going into the sous vide. This one here after the sous vide, and the last one I put it after I seared it, and I just put a bunch of cracked pepper in it.
Okay, so it's fresh pepper on top
It's
of it. Right?
fresh pepper that is 100% powerful. That's why you feel that. If you pay attention to right now, my tongue is tingling a little bit because of that pepper. So it's a stronger feel of pepper.
The thing is with me, I love pepper.
Yeah, me too.
pepper.
I love pepper as well. So here's the deal, everybody. What I can tell from this experiment, okay? They are all exactly the same. Even though this pepper might burn a little bit as you are searing it on the actual pan, it did not produce any bitterness or any flavor, at least for me. What about for you guys?
No.
No. This is
no burnt. And
Great steak. Great steak. For me personally, amazing steak.
Amazing steak. So to you, you like it better because you like a more pronounced
Yeah.
amount of pepper. Very good. Out of all of these steaks, which one is your favorite?
I like the first one better.
I agree. I like the first one as well. For me, I like pepper, but maybe not too much powerful. I think Sammy is a pepper man. As you guys probably saw the video of me drinking hot sauce. I'm not a hot sauce guy. Anyway, guys, these are the results. The point is the pepper does burn, but it just doesn't take long enough in the pan to produce any bitterness, at least for all three of us. So, and if you like your pepper stronger, just put it right towards the end. Because it's being cooked on the sous vide and also on the oil on the second one, it just mild down a little bit. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, guys, these are the results. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy it, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in anything I use, everything is always in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.